Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today?
I'm not your Legion. I'm just one person.
Yeah, just one person, but...
Legion is many.
Yeah. Well, you get into Georgia territory now, Georgia. It's not a proper Legion. A proper Legion is like 900 people. I have like 9,000. He said not, it doesn't make any sense.
So that many demons in Legion?
Yeah, I know. But, and John Adams Cup says Legion right there, too, which is really cool. I am Legion. That's pretty cool.
But that has nothing to do with this.
Nothing to do with my Legion, though. That was something else.
That's the
film
company.
Film company.
That produced stuff like Mandy.
Oh, yeah.
Probably still can't see, too dark to see my hat.
Mandy.
All right, and...
Okay, and Halloween Day, and and we're here to review
Creepshow,
the animated special.
Yes.
And it's weird because Creepshow, I don't know when it was, Laurel, Creepshow was owned by Laurel.
Not Hardy.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, and Laurel was around for a while. They did, like, Dawn of the Dead.
Well, yeah, that was created by George Romero.
And
is it Paul Rubenstein? Rubenstein, would it?
Yeah.
To release stuff.
And they did a whole bunch of stuff, like the George Romero movies, and then, like Dawn of the Dead, and Creepshow 2, Tales of the Dark Side of the movie. And then, somehow they went out of business, and then they were bought by Taurus Entertainment, who released the god-awful Creepshow 3. And then Day of the Dead 2 Contagion, which I've never seen. I heard it's not very good. I've never seen it, though. Well, anyways, I remember seeing Creepshow 3. It was awful. I was excited seeing the 3. It was awful. And then, with this one, they brought Creepshow back as a series. I don't have Shudder, but John does.
Right.
And
that was my birthday treat a year or two ago.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people like Shudder.
I think about it 2 years ago, and then I think I forgot it. I had it for a long time. Like,
oh, really?
Oh, shit. I got
it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget. There's so much out there,
yeah.
though. You know what I mean? With the streaming channels, it's insane and stuff. And then John said, like, the animated... you and Spook were saying the animated Creepshow came out.
Right.
Animated special, and I definitely wanted to see it. And it says it's associated with Taurus Entertainment, because it's still on there. No, but I really liked it. It says the two stories. The animation style was different. My dad was saying, I don't like it. It looks cheap. But it's the animation style.
And the first story was a Stephen King short story called Survivor Type, and the main character is voiced by Kiefer Sutherland, by a guy that's a doctor. He gets stranded on a deserted island, or it's a desert island. And he gets it just deserted, so he's trying to survive, and that's about all I'll say.
Yeah.
But you thought that they couldn't do a live action, but
it was so gory. But I mean, yeah.
Well,
sorry.
Someone did a live action one for the Erie Horror Fest he submitted to. At first, when I started seeing Stephen King movies, I'm like, what the hell? Then I remember, oh yeah, Stephen King, what he does is, I forget what he calls it. Is it like $1 Million Babies or something like that? To take off of Alice Cooper. Where you go to his website, and there's a section where there's movies that you can adapt for, like, doing a film festival type of film, and you have to pay him $1. And then you are able to. You can't make any money off it, but you can make a movie and enter it into competitions and stuff. So that's why I was seeing all these Stephen King movies being submitted.
I forgot you told me about that.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting that he does that. Now, I think the list changes all the time, depending on, like, if there's going to be, like, a Hollywood version. So this is probably not on that list anymore. Because it was a few months back, I was actually checking it out again, and it's like, I forget what movies were on there, but it wasn't any of the ones that I seen recently. But yeah, it's kind of fascinating that he does that, because he has so much money that, hey, if you're an aspiring independent filmmaker, and I don't know what there could be some restrictions, like maybe you have to be a college student, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can adapt it. And that was pretty interesting. The second one was Joe Hill story, Stephen King's son, that looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
And Joey King did the voice of the main girl, which I'm not familiar, but I guess she was in The Conjuring, like the girl in that. So, and that was good, where it's like her and her family go on a road trip, and they go see a circus of the dead, and they go check it out, and they're like, wow, this is really interesting. But she's like tweeting all the time, bitching about everything, because her parents are making her go on a family vacation, and her mom always bitching about her being on social media all the time.
Oh, my dad used to yell and scream at me about being on the computer all the time, and it was just like, or like Google Hangouts with the one person to be like a few 4 or 5 hours in the night. He said, "You're supposed to watch me. You're not supposed to be on that toy all the time," and stuff like that. I mean, but I think it's like an allegory how like we detach ourselves from reality by tweeting stuff. Now it's called No Time to Waste. I wonder if that's the actual Twitter handle on there in conjunction with the. That would be kind of neat. Maybe go for like a couple weeks and put sarcastic. They'd hire someone to put some sarcastic stuff in there or something like that.
Yeah.
Now I remember the first movie, Survivor Type. I believe that was in different seasons. Short stories.
It might have been.
Because they had App Pupil.
See, I don't know if it was that or if it was Skeleton Crew.
Oh, I didn't have that one.
Yeah, that had a lot of short stories in it.
Maybe I had that one because I remember we were in school and you were talking about, mentioned that you said it was really gross. Because I remember this was, I mean, these stories go way back. Stephen King was doing it since like the 70s.
Yeah, like I was telling Jason before, I'm not sure if I've read a book of his in this century.
Oh, wow.
Because, you know, I was reading so many of his books that I like, well, plus he's starting to get too wordy and the stuff was becoming crap. And so I took a break and moved on to other authors because there's like a lot of great one, like Brian Lumley. If you like vampire stories, check out Brian Lumley's The Necroscope. There's a huge series of books, but Necroscope is the first one. And that's about like James Bond meets psychics and they deal with vampires. And, you know, it's like, what's the Secret Service in Britain, MI6 or something like that, that Bond was a part of. But he has a psychic division. And each person has a certain power. A necroscope, he can speak to communicate with the dead. And then his counterpart that they're fighting against is a Russian who's a necromancer that tortures the dead to give up their secrets. And it's a really good series in the encounter of vampires. But I don't know how many books. I mean, when I read, there was at least 6 books. And that was back in the 80s. And I think he took a break from those stories. And then I think he's returned. So there, but yeah, if you like vampires and you like spy, check out the Necroscope. That's cool. You know, I was trying to move on to other authors instead of just Stephen King movies. You know, I know what, but I should have kept up. I don't know why I stopped. I didn't keep up with the Dark Tower.
It's so easy to get behind on everything. It's
there's no reason that I don't know why I didn't have good keep up with Dark Tower. That's one I really like. Yeah. Just like there's a really good fantasy series that I stopped reading because I kind of got away from reading for a while called The Wheel of Time, which is being adapted into a TV series. It's a fantasy novel. The author died, but he knew he was going to die because I don't know if he had cancer or something. So he sat down with another author and outlined how he wanted the series to end, and then that author took over.
Well, that one Clive Barker movie, Thief of Always, is quite good. If you ever read that.
Yeah, that's another person I switched to was Clive Barker. Yeah. The Books of Blood. But what's weird is, you know, I don't know if there was like 6 Books of Blood, but in America they released some of them under different titles instead of as the Books of Blood, which I don't know why it was stupid. They adapted that to a Hulu series, and
I did so much.
But I don't know if it follows an actual story from the books, or if it's something they made up for the show.
I wonder if they did, I just thought about this. I wonder if they did Creepshow animated now, a special, because of COVID.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I never even thought of that. That's a perfectly good, I mean, the voice work would have been easy.
Yeah, because they already,
different.
Because they do have a live action series. Yeah. They did season 1. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe they might be doing season 2 as an animated special. So
that'd be cool. I mean, just like everything's changing now.
Because at the end it said, you know, stay tuned for these issues of Creepshow. Yeah. So I'm thinking there are other episodes that are going to be released.
I never thought about that.
makes perfect sense. Because, yeah, you get away with doing the animation.
Yeah.
So I know there were some films that they were doing, like, or still doing the animated stuff.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, it's just...
Because you can work from home, you know, send the people, the animators, some with computers, and they can work from their house and voice over people. Some of them, like Kiefer Sutherland, probably has his own studio. Yeah, we did. We were trying to do a, what the hell was that vampire movie he was in?
I Lost Boys.
Yeah. We tried to do a reunion of that. Only a couple people showed up to the Horror Fest. One was Brooke McCarter, one of the vampires with Kiefer, and a guy that did a Cry Little Sister song for the soundtrack.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But Kiefer Sutherland had told Greg if he wasn't so busy not just starring in but producing 24, he would have come out to the Horror Fest.
Oh, that's cool.
And the actress, the main girl, now I forget her name now. She's when Greg asked her, she's like, "People still watch that movie?" That was her response.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, watch Lost Boys. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, but so I guess she had no interest in coming out. But yeah, Kiefer said, "Oh yeah, if I wasn't so busy."
No.
She's like, you don't think about it, but I was watching like the Smallville cast reunion on YouTube, and the guy who played Lex Luthor on the show, he's talking about people don't realize how many hours, like the guy who played Clark Kent, Superman, he was putting in like 20 hours a day, and in Canada, the rule is if one of the actors has a driver provided, everybody has to have.
Oh, okay.
There's no favoritism. Well, they had to beg them to change the law because he's putting in these 20-hour days as a star of Superman, and they're like, you could tell he's starting to lose it a little mentally, and they're afraid of him driving back and forth by himself. But you don't think about how much time, and then the Kiefer was producing on top of, and putting in more work besides being the star of an action show. Yeah. So it's like, that's why he had no time. Otherwise, he would have come out.
Well, the one thing about 24 is, I watched it for a while. I didn't.
It got
They brought back. I watched for a few seasons and stuff like that. And the weird thing is, he never used the bathroom because it's like, get by you got all that stuff. If it was me, I was like, oh my god, I gotta take a crap. I mean, because there's no way I could know that taking a crap. Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
Well,
I love the show, and then it says filmed in real time right there. That's the dumbest thing in the world. It's in real time. It's an hour-long show. It's in real time right there. But it showed in real time. I tried to explain to my dad. He didn't understand.
Yeah.
So I just gave up.
But
he said filmed noir doesn't exist either.
Yeah, I watched the first 3 seasons, but it started to just get too repetitive. I was like, first this family member gets kidnapped, then this family member.
Yeah,
and this,
I so dug it.
And it's for like such a secret organization. It was so easy to filtrate. So I give up.
Yeah. Well, I know Ian K for Peep This Out was working with Sprint, and he was on the set showing them how to use all the new technology and stuff like that, which is really cool. Back when he was, I don't know what he does now, but. Oh, and by the way, I give it a 10 out of 10 for this show.
Oh, back to our main review.
Yeah, Creepshow 10 out of 10. No, I want to just, But no, I mean, I thought it was brilliant. I think
they did a really good job. It's
Greg
Nicotoro's producing this in the live action. He's the one that was part of K&B Effects, and he does the makeup effects on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But he produced, and I think he did Motel Plays for the animated ones. Yeah. But he's K&B. All 3 of them were great. Yeah. But now I don't know if they all broke up because I know K, he moved back to Ohio. So I'm Facebook friends with him.
Oh wow! There's so many people I just forget about people. And then with at the beginning of live action they have kind of like the skeleton thing in it. The best one is in the first one, in my opinion. But I mean they skeleton by the But I mean, it's all practical effects. There's no CGI with the guy trying to write a bunch of panels and stuff like that. And then he did the flip book thing.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to remember when I was a kid, my grandmother used to get those little books from D&K. So, and then they had Flintstones and stuff like that. And they had a little flip book, a little animated thing on the corner. You flip and see them do stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. Well, I give it a 10 out of 10 for the animated Creepshow show. I thought it was brilliant.
Really good.
Really
All right,
good?
that's all I got.
So until next time, please take care of my legion. I had an idea about something.